William got a bone to pick with Harry for Netflix is set to dramatize Princess Diana's interview with Martin Bashir in The Crown, according to reports, despite Prince's call for it never to be aired again. An entire episode in Series 5 will reportedly focus on Diana's Bombshell Panorama interview in 1995. It comes after the Duke of Cambridge demanded it never to be broadcast again following an inquiry earlier this year which found Bashir used deceitful behavior to secure his scoop. Netflix is understood to have spent millions on the episode, which insiders told The Sun will be pivotal to the upcoming installment of the show, which often garners controversy. The decision to recreate the Panorama interview puts Netflix at odds with William, who called for the groundbreaking scenes to never to be aired again. But sources say Netflix, which is a lucrative deal with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle said to be worth up to £112 million, is going ahead with the episode. An insider told The Sun, The Crown's creators see the interview as the keystone moment in Series 5. To the writers, the stormy marriage between Charles and Di led up to her outpouring on Panorama, and the aftermath of the decision defined her final months. They are making a huge investment in that. The Crown has a track record of delving into areas of the royal family's history they'd rather be left alone. In a televised statement, William railed, "This Panorama program holds no legitimacy and should never be aired again. It effectively established a false narrative which, for over a quarter of a century, has been commercialized by the BBC and others." The Independent report found Bashir had lied to obtain the interview, using deceitful methods later covered up by a woefully ineffective internal investigation by Tony Hall, who later became BBC Director General. Ingrid Seward, editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, said, "This would be extremely upsetting and the only protection negation William has is not to watch it." Royal commentator Margaret Holder added, "William was negation dismayed at the time. It is also embarrassing for Harry." Thanked Lord Dyson and his team for the report, but called on the BBC to never air the programme again due to ways it was obtained and how it directly contributed to his mother's paranoia, isolation, and fear during her final years. Speaking earlier this year, William thanked Lord Dyson and his team for the report, but called on the BBC to never air the programme again due to ways it was obtained and how it directly contributed to his mother's paranoia, isolation, and fear during her final years. He said, "This Panorama program holds no legitimacy and should never be aired again. What saddens me most is that if the BBC had properly investigated the complaints and concerns first raised in 1995, my mother would have known that she had been deceived," the Duke of Cambridge said in a statement. She was failed not just by a rogue reporter, but by leaders at the BBC who looked the other way rather than asking the tough questions. In an era of fake news, public service broadcasting and a free press have never been more important. These failings, identified by investigative journalists, not only let my mother down, and my family down, they let the public down too. It effectively established a false narrative which, for over a quarter of a century, has been commercialized by the BBC and others. The explosive interview revealed intimate details about Diana's failing marriage to Prince Charles, and her battle with depression after the births of her children and bulimia. Many people wondered at the time why Diana had agreed to give the deeply personal interview. In an article posted on the BBC's website, Director General Tim Davis thanked Lord Dyson for his report, adding that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full. Although the report states that Diana, Princess of Wales, was keen on the idea of an interview with the BBC, it is clear that the process for securing the interview fell far short of what audiences have a right to expect. "We are very sorry for this," Davis said.